Hey guys, Orly here, founder of Life Best Inside, and I want to thank each and every one of you for kicking off your week with me on the weekly Kindness Kickoff with Orly, coming at you at the beginning of every week, where I do a reading from my book, Kindness Boomerang, How to Save the World and Yourself Through 365 Daily Acts. And then I give you, myself, and all of us out there an exciting kindness challenge based on the reading. Now, for those of you that don't have your copy of Kindness Boomerang and want to get your own, it's really simple. You could pick up your copy directly on the Life Best Inside website by going to lifebestinside.com. It's a lesson-a-day book in kindness. So for every day of the year, an act, an inspirational quote, and then a short reflection on the power of paying it forward, giving you simple, practical ways to incorporate kindness into your life. In addition, you can also pick it up on one of the online retailers, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, IndieBound, iTunes, Target. All the funds go directly to the nonprofit Life Best Inside to help us continue doing our great work in the world. You could also win your copy right here. Just next week, I'll be announcing a winner from the month of November. In the very beginning of every month, I draw one person at random from those that are engaging on the platform, leaving your thoughts, your comments, your feedback about kindness, about the specific act that week. And that winner gets not one, but 2 copies of the Kindness Boomerang book, one for themselves, and then one, of course, to gift forward to somebody else. So make sure that you do engage. Please share along the video with others that you think will really enjoy it. And continue to follow along and support Life Best Inside in any which way that you can. All right, let's jump into the reading. And the reading is coming to us from December 2nd. I love this act. And it goes as follows. Find a public wish list online and send a gift to a stranger. And the quote, by William Butler Yeats. There are no strangers here, only friends you haven't yet met. And the reflection. When we count down the days to momentous occasions like birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and graduations, we're generally filled with a sense of excitement and anticipation. It's more than the thrill of receiving a gift. It's the knowledge that on that day, it's your moment to be surrounded by people who love you. Giving when it's least expected brings with it an even greater thrill, an extra dose of excitement. With no sense of obligation on either end, there is a subtle beauty, serving as a reminder that even on the days you may not be publicly celebrated, someone out there is celebrating the fact that you exist. I absolutely love this act. It is such a fun thing to do. I don't know if any of you have ever done this before, but it's a really great opportunity right now in the holiday season and holiday spirit to be able to find a public wish list online. And it's not about the amount of money. It could be something really small, but sending this random gift to a stranger with a small note of hope, a small note of inspiration, especially in the 2020 year and as it's coming to a close. This has been a hard year for every single person in one way or another. And so suddenly getting this unexpected gift when things are difficult really has a way to uplift a person, maybe reinstill their faith in humanity, maybe be that answer or that sign that they're looking for, to keep on holding on, to keep on pushing forward. So check it out. This is such a fun act for each and every one of us to do. You know, I happens to be about, this was, I'm going to say it was about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, that this happened to me, okay? Not in the same exact way, but I want to share this story because it really left an impression on me till this very day. So I've been working and running Life Best Inside since 2011, all right? I was a middle school teacher for 7 years, loved my job, left my job teaching, and in September of 2011, suddenly I was in this whole nother world of running this nonprofit, just starting out. I invested every dollar of my savings into the organization. Till this day, I am a full-time volunteer. Hadn't taken a salary in all these years. And it's very difficult. And I would get sometimes a lot of discouragement from people that are closest to me. What are you, crazy? You're not making any money. Why are you putting all your money into this? Who do you think you're going to impact? I know that their intention is from a good place. They're worried about me. What are you doing, Orly? Why don't you get a real job? That's, that was the line that I would hear. And it was a very discouraging thing to hear because you're giving of your all to something that you love, not because it's a job, but because it's a calling. And that's honestly what I feel about Life Best Inside. I feel privileged every day that I have the ability to work on this organization. most people don't know the hardships that have come along with this. It is not easy, okay? It doesn't have that support of funding, okay? So very, very difficult. And there were times where, my goodness, the dire situations, really hard, really hard. So why am I sharing this? Not everybody necessarily knows that, about the organization or the hardships that I was personally facing going through it. And there was one person who started off as just being a donor, actually started off with just being a fan, okay, on Life Vest Inside. I remember he was doing bike racing, okay, and he sent a picture. I think it was must have been either through Facebook at the time. This is going back some years, of his race bike with Life Vest Inside, like stickers on it. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. And him and I became friends. And then I ran a crowdfunder for the organization, and he contributed to the organization, and we got to finally meet. Such an amazing person. I mean, a heart of gold, okay? And finally, one year, it was a very, very difficult year for the organization. I hadn't taken a break. I hadn't taken a vacation because, again, I was putting everything into the organization. So I couldn't go on a vacation. How was I doing that? And a friend of mine who actually was in the Kindness Boomerang film, okay, Tori Dube, I love her, Tori Doobie. She was the flower vendor, okay, for those of you that seen the Kindness Boomerang film. She was part of a yoga retreat. And she had asked me, do you want to come to this yoga retreat? I said, listen, it sounds amazing, even though I've never done yoga, but I know everybody says, Orly, you should do it. It's so good for you. It has the ability to really heal the body and so on and so forth. I said, how am I going to do it? I can't do that. I don't know, where am I getting the funds to be able to go on a retreat? Like, that's not happening. And taking time off from the organization, how am I going to do? I can't do that. Bottom line, what ended up happening, this gentleman, okay, this guy, I want to say his name because I don't know if he publicly would like me for him to say his name, but this amazing friend reached out to her and basically paid for my trip. This was like the craziest gift I ever received. He paid for this yoga retreat for me to go on this trip for, I think it was 8 days, okay? And it was, number one, the most amazing experience I had. I mean, I was really off of technology for that entire week. You couldn't be on technology. I mean, it was like lights out at 9 p.m. There was no internet. You're on like a secluded island. It healed me in crazy, crazy ways. And it came to me at the exact time that I needed it. There would have been no way that I would ever been able to give myself that kind of gift. And I know that this is a very large gift in comparison to the act that I just read, which could be something so simple, something so tiny and so simple. But why am I sharing that? Again, he didn't have to go about doing that. There was no reason. He knew me from the organization as, of the work that I do, but he didn't have any deep, deep connection to me that he knew me for years or whatever. And he basically put himself in my shoes of where I was at. And he said to me, this is a trip for you. This is not for Life Vest Inside. This is for you, Orly Waba. And to hear that was something that was very foreign to me because I so much associated myself with what I do that I didn't take that time for me. I never took it for me. Till this day, it's hard for me to do that. And what an amazing, amazing gift. What an amazing surprise. It wasn't about how big that gift was. It was about the fact that someone took the time to see something that I needed. Now, guys, I know that this act is talking about finding a public registry, which is super cool, just because you don't know who it's going to end up going to, and you don't know the interaction that might come about as a result of it, okay? Whether you leave it completely anonymous or whether you put your email address on there or whatever it is. Or it doesn't have to necessarily be somebody you don't know. It could be somebody that you do know that really wants something that they can't necessarily get it for themselves. And it doesn't have to be something big. It can be something small. But somebody noticing you, somebody seeing you, it does something. It does something for a person that's very hard to explain in words. Think about a time where somebody surprised you with something that you never expected from them and how great it felt. Well, I got to tell you something. It feels even greater to be on the giving end, to be the person giving that person that experience and that feeling. So I want to encourage all of us to try and take on this act in whatever small way that you can, Okay, I know in a crazy year like the 2020 year, money is certainly tight. So it's not about the amount of money. It's about the thought and what it will bring to another person, the hope that it'll bring, and what it'll end up doing for you in return. Because as we know, guys, we talk about this all the time, right? The kindness boomerang. When we give, giving doesn't stop with the person that we give to. Generally, when we're giving, we end up giving back to ourselves so much more. We just sometimes don't necessarily see it. So I want to encourage all of us to get out there and seize this opportunity. I would love if you guys shared your experiences engaging in this act of kindness. I'm excited to do this myself. And maybe we could swap stories, because I think that could be a space for some incredible, amazing stories of kindness to come about. So good luck on your kindness challenge. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me for the weekly Kindness Kickoff. Please be sure to check out the Daily Kind and our Kindness Flash. These are 2 newsletters that we send out. The Daily Kind goes out Monday through Friday with an act, an inspirational quote, a positive affirmation, and kindness media. And then, of course, we also have our flash, which goes out at the beginning of every month. We have one coming out in just another few days, so you can still register. Go to lifehatsinside.com. In the top, click on sign up, and you can register for one or both of our newsletters there. Please do check out the Kindness Boomerang book. You can make your purchase. Feel free to make a donation to the organization in any amount that you may be able to, because every single dollar does matter. Thank you guys for just tuning in and for being a tremendous support in whichever way. Looking forward to hearing your comments. And remember, it's kindness that keeps the world afloat. Love you all. Mwah!